Namaste. All the beautiful souls, welcome back to White Tara Tarot Reading. And today we are going to put some light to understand our own body. There were some incidents which triggered me to initiate my spiritual journey a couple of years ago, and as a beginner, I was looking into everything I could. Like I was searching, looking into videos on YouTube. I was searching so much on Google, and I was taking opinions from all the learned people, like what is spirituality and why do people, like what triggers us this to take up the spiritual path and things like that. And my focus was completely on like how can I attain enlightenment. Then I understood that enlightenment is not possible for each and every person. We are spiritual beings and we can be awakened, but enlightenment is something which is completely up to the wish of the Supreme. Okay, only if He wish, we can be enlightened. We cannot be enlightened ourselves. We can be awakened if we follow the proper methods, follow the proper practices. We can definitely be awakened because all the human beings are spiritual. And for the people who are not spiritual or who have just initiated their spiritual journey, for them spirituality is such a immense term. Actually, there is nothing esoteric about the word spirituality. It is related with the basic word. The foundation of the word spirituality is the spirit. Each individual has their own spirit. And spirit is an English word which was derived from the Latin word which means spirus. And spirus means to breathe, to be alive. So everything which is alive, everything which has life is equally spiritual. Then started the whole cycle of playing with the words, bringing the words like consciousness and bringing the words like activation of Kundalini, this and that. So instead of making a path, instead of making our journey easier, these things which we search, because once you are in the spiritual journey you do so much of research, but it will take us time to understand that what is the way of real research. For me it took about around almost an year to understand that I need to make the scriptures, the ancient scriptures, my source of realization so that I can make my spiritual journey easier. Then I got some spiritual ancient books. Some of were like really huge in volume and some of were not, like they have a little volume, but whatever the volume of the book was, the information provided in the book were clear and which made me doubt free. So I got my key for my self knowledge so that I can look inside, I can realize, I can do my self realization. So as a beginner I was doing it the other way, like without understanding or without even having the manual of the machine in my hand. I was trying to operate that machine, and that's why I was miserably failing again and again. But once I understood, once I had the manual of that machine in my hand, at least I can refer to it whenever I had doubt. And according to our ancient scripts, they mention that our human body is the most sophisticated machine ever witnessed in this whole universe. So without understanding your own self, your own body, how can you even think that you will be able to rise the energy of the Kundalini, or you will achieve the awakening, or you will know your spiritual goals. So through the 7 cards which I chose from the Sacred Tarot deck, we are going to learn the basics of the human body. Okay? So I hope you will relate with what I'm trying to explain, because I have managed and I will try to make this as simple as I could. So the first card is the Brahma, the source of our creation, that is the Brahma. The second card is the Atma, the Hierophant, our soul. The third card is the Shasti, the Empress. Then comes the Emperor, the Purusha. The next card is the Wheel of Fortune, or the Dharma. Then comes the Asura, the Devil card, the Asura. And the last card I have is the Tara, star. So let's try to understand the human mechanism. Our body is the Tantra. Tantra is our body. And mantra is the mechanism which operates. Brahma is the source of the creation of the whole universe. So to understand the human body clearly, many theories were put front. Amongst them, the first theory, which was the most predominant, was the theory of Dvaita. Dvaita means duality. And the theory of duality, which was being preached by Ramanujacharya, according to him, he said that the soul, Atma, and the Paramatma, Brahma, the soul and the creator are different. The creator is the supreme, but soul is different from the creator, and the final destiny of the soul is to get merged with its creator. So that was the theory of Dvaita. Then came the theory of Advaita, or non-duality, which was being preached by Adi Shankaracharya, and he strongly believed that both the Atma, the soul, and the Paramatma, the source, are not two, but they are one. Okay? Then came the theory of Dvaita. That means mixture of both, the duality and the non-duality, which focused that we have to understand the everything in the nothing, the duality in the non-duality, the non-difference in the difference. And these 3 theories came like the 3D realities. And other philosophies which came later, like each and every philosophy which came from different parts of the world, they dwell around these 3 theories. So to understand human body, we have to understand that the whole mission of the cosmos is that the soul will ultimately unite with its creator, so that it could end its journey of coming into this physical world again and again. Okay? So a soul chooses to come into this physical world through a womb. Okay? So we are the source for our children to come into this world. So children don't belong to us. They choose to come through us. They are not our property. We cannot claim on them. Okay, we should be fortunate, thankful enough that our children chose to come through us. Shasti is the masculine energy, and the other half of the Shasti is the feminine energy, and the other half of the feminine energy is the Purusha, the emperor, the masculine energy. And both the energies are needed for the life to reinforce in this physical world. Okay? So now this part is very interesting. Our human body is divided into three parts, subdivided into three more bodies, like three bodies. The first is the gross body, which we can see. And this gross body is made out of 5 elements: the fire, the air, the water, the earth, and the sky. And this gross body works through the 5 senses: the sense of touch, the sense of smell, the sense of taste, the sense to see, and the sense to listen. And there are 5 vital forces inside this body, inside this gross body, which are responsible to keep us alive. They are called the pranas. There are 5 life forces. Okay? First is the prana, second is the apana, vyana, udana, and samana. These are the 5 vital forces which helps us keep alive. And the being who can get themselves completely free from all these elements is called enlightened, which is not possible for a common human being like us. We are spiritual beings. We can be awakened. That is the reality. But it is a myth that each awakened being can be enlightened. And awakening is a term which happens multiple times. A single awakening means nothing. You have to awaken yourselves multiple times. And the strongest awakening, the strongest connection of your energies to your higher energies in your higher dimensions will decide to understand the spiritual goal. Okay, so inside this gross body there's a subtle body. Okay, and this subtle body is nothing but our mind. And please make one thing very clear, that mind is something which has no connection with the brain, or at least mind is something which is not our brain. Mind is something which is present in each and every cell of our body. There are more than 50 to 100 trillion cells in our body, and each cell has its own memory, each cell has its own mechanism, each cell is a complete entity in itself, and each cell is a mind. So there is mind. The mind, the consciousness is present in each and every part of our cell. Okay, so gross body holds the subtle body, which is nothing but our mind, our thoughts, our consciousness. And this subtle body is the reason for all our entangling journey, which creates the suffering and the bliss, the pain and the pleasure, the happiness and the sadness, the success and the failure. So this is like a wheel of fortune, you know. It always moves, it always changes. Change is the dominant reality of this universe, our world. It is a truth. I'm saying a truth because instead of saying the truth, because what is my truth could not be your truth. Okay, The reality is omnipresent, and the truth can change. So wheel of fortune is a truth because it keeps on changing. So one time there is pain, one time there is happiness, one time there is success, once there is success, another end there is failure. So this subtle body is the reason for all our attachments, the greed, the lust, the ego, the I, the me, the attachment, my children, my property, my wife, my husband, my goals, my ambitions, my success. And slowly this all turns out to be the reasons for all our pains, our physical pains, our psychological pains, and all our deeds keep on adding to our karma. And if you want to keep your karma clean, you should do your work. Whatever work you do, you should do it with a pure intention. So intention is the thought. Intention is the consciousness which will decide whether the karma you're doing is good or not good. Anyhow, so the subtle body includes the mind. And this subtle body holds the divine body, that is the soul. Why then the soul not try to guide the subtle body and the gross body? Because soul is wrapped up with so much of dense energies from the subtle body and from the gross body. Still it gives us some messages, sends us signals. See, what you're doing is not right, don't do it. But we don't care to listen to our divine body unless the right time comes. And we try continuously not to listen to our divine body, because that is again the result of our karmic debts. So until and unless we clear our karmic cycle, our karmic debts, we cannot get access to listen to our divine body. Okay? So the gross body includes the subtle body, and the subtle body includes the divine body. And when a person dies, the subtle body immediately wraps the divine body and comes out of the gross body and wanders in the cosmos. And this condition is called the preta, the bhuta. The pret, the bhoot is not ghost. The pret, the bhoot, we have to understand that it is the subtle body holding the divine body without the gross body. And this pret condition will look again to find its womb. If its karmic debts are not clear, it wants to come back to this physical world. It is searching for a womb, and when it gets the right womb, this subtle body along with the divine body enters the womb. And as soon as the life forms in the womb in the form of zygote, the weight of the zygote is equal to the weight of the soul. It has been proved scientifically that as soon as a person dies, the weight loss from the body is equal to the weight of the zygote, the beginning life in the womb. The devil is our upbringing, is our conditioning, is everything which has been fed into our mind that you have to be successful, you have to be competitive, you have to have a secure position in this society, and it is the source of all our materialistic attractions, materialistic attachments, what all we create, the whole physical world which has no connection with our inside. And this is so very glamorous and so very attracting and so very powerful that it will never allow us to look inside. Because once human being finds the way to look inside, to initiate their spiritual path, to understand their spiritual goal, that for what they have been brought into this world is that to understand that they have to liberate themselves. So once the devil tries hard through various entanglements that we shouldn't be looking inside of us, it will misplace the key for the self knowledge. Even if you try, it will take you, it will shift your focus from that part, and it will always tell you that this is the heaven. What you have created is the heaven. There is nothing more than this in heaven. Okay, and we are living in that myth. But somehow, as a spiritual being, sooner or later we will understand that our life's goal is to merge with our source of creation, that is the Paramatma, the Parabrahma, the ultimate source, the Param Jyoti. Okay, if we need to end our suffering, and that will be realized to us through the star. The star is the most innocent source, the motherly source, the mother, the guardian of all the spiritual beings inside us, which always keeps us telling that, look, I'm your mother. I might not be the one who gave you birth, but I am the one who can end you from all the sufferings, your physical pain, your emotional pain, and all your sufferings. Give it to me. I'm ready to take all your sufferings. You initiate your spiritual journey, understand your spiritual path, find the way so that you can connect to the Supreme. So you can get the salvation, the liberation, the nirvana, the moksha, the whatever we call it. Okay? And all the Vedas which we read never speaks about any religion, never speaks about any god. They just speak about the source, the supreme source. And the supreme sources are the things which are the manifestations of our own creation of the human body, and which helps this human body to survive in this earth. The sun, the fire, the water, the earth, the air, the sky, these are the supreme forces. And these forces also get merged up with the creator, that is the Parabrahma, the Paramatma. So that is about understanding your body. So once you understand your body, then it will be easy for us to understand the further topics like rising of Kundalini energy and how it is done, how can we bring our chakras into alignment, and what does each chakra is assigned with, and what kind of energy each chakra possesses, and what can we do to heal it, to unblock it, to get it into the alignment, and other things. So next video I am going to do about how can we rise the Kundalini energy. People are so much like fussed up about activation of Kundalini energy. Kundalini energy is very much active inside us. That is why we are alive. They are doing their own assigned works. Okay, Kundalini energy is active, and as a spiritual being, as an awakened being, we can try to rise the Kundalini energy, like from chakra 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6, and we can bring it out from our crown chakra. So we have to try to rise our Kundalini energy, and rising of Kundalini energy is not a magic. It won't happen in 30 days, it won't happen in 60 days, it won't happen in 2 sessions, it won't happen in 3 sessions. There is nothing like instant activation. No, you have to go through proper methods, proper channels, and proper practices. If you are like concerned about awakening or rising your Kundalini energy, bringing your chakras into alignment, you have to follow some methods. There is no other way. You have to practice some methods. You have to practice some proper channels. Okay, so what are they? We will be discussing that in the next reading. I'm trying to make the content simple and short so that it will be easily conveyed to everybody out who are keen spiritual seekers. So I hope today's video was useful, and if you could relate to what I've discussed with you today, please do comment in the comment box so that I'll be encouraged to make more such videos. And those who haven't subscribed my channel yet, please do subscribe so that you won't miss any of my videos. And I'm very thankful for all your support and encouragement. Thank you very much. Lots of blessings from Goddess White Tara. Until next time, take care. Bye bye. Astu.